Hello and welcome to another episode of AWS Cloud Bytes. Today in AWS Architecture series, we'll discuss WordPress hosting on AWS. So stay tuned. Before we begin, please note that this architecture diagram is taken from an AWS reference architecture that is available on AWS website. You can view this architecture at aws.amazon.com website. I'm taking this as one of the use case because I thought this will be a great use case to discuss with the tech community, as WordPress as an application for personal blogging in many news websites are running on WordPress. There are around 27% of websites around the globe. Let's deep dive into the reference architecture. So these are the users, and this is Route 53. Users will come through Route 53, and this is a CloudFront, Amazon CloudFront, so it can serve both static and dynamic web pages. CloudFront is talking to an internet gateway, so you can see this is just one region. The architecture is just talking about one region, and Amazon Route 53 can be used as a resource that can talk to multiple regions. So in this case, there is only one region where this Cloud 53 is routing your traffic. But in case you have multiple regions for disaster recovery, maybe active scenario or active passive scenario, in that case you can route your traffic 50% to region A and 50% to region B, or depending upon whether it is an active passive, where you can send 100% traffic to region A and then 0% traffic to region B. In case of disaster, if region A is down, then go to region B. It can automatically be done through Route 53. So Route 53 is a global resource. Amazon CloudFront distribution is again available here, serving the web pages for you. It is talking to an internet gateway within a VPC. So number two over here is an internet gateway. An internet gateway allows communication between instances of your VPC and internet primarily. So you can see there is a VPC here, and there is only one internet gateway that can be attached to a VPC. This VPC is sitting in a region, and this VPC spans two availability zones. Keep in mind each region has one or more availability zones, and our VPC is spanning two availability zones in this case. Internet gateway is talking to an application load balancer. We use application load balancer to distribute web traffic, and in this case it is attached to both availability zone showing on the top and the bottom. So you can see the application load balancer, this gray area is depicting that this is attached to both, and it is outside the availability zones that is attached to more than one availability zone. Now, this is talking to a group of EC2 instances that are available in app subnet, and you can see that you have WordPress instances. What you need to do is, in order to run a WordPress site, what you need to do is you need to install latest version of WordPress, Apache Web Server, PHP 7, and OP Cache. And then you can build an Amazon machine image that can be used by auto-scaling group launch configuration. Basically, this will be used whenever there is a new instance launched by the auto-scaling group. Number 6 over here is a depiction of if it is a read-heavy rather than a write-heavy application. Usually, WordPress applications are read-heavy because you read a lot of blogs rather than adding comments, and new blogs are added lesser. So it will be like 80% or 90% read. And in order to make your read really good, you can respond faster by applying a cache rather than going to the database for each request. So in this case, it is a depiction of memcached from Elastic Cache. So Amazon Elastic Cache memcached implementation is shown here. This is in front of the database layer, just to provide a cache. Whenever a request comes, it checks whether the data is available in memcached, which is an in-memory database. If not, then it goes to the Aurora database and pulls out information, caches it over here, and responds back. the subsequent request will go to the cache until the cache is expired. So you can have those kind of scenarios where the cache can be expired after certain duration, or you can keep it long living if it is not changing frequently. The next one is basically simplification for keeping an Amazon RDS, which doesn't need much maintenance or administration at your end. So it is just running an Aurora master, and then you have a replication available in availability zone, which is just a read replica. So it's basically anytime there is an update, it will go to the primary, the master, and which will be synced back to a read replica. Now, number 7, we already discussed about the RDS. So it can be Aurora or MySQL. Number 8 over here is basically depicting mount target. It is primarily a network drive mounted to your EC2 instances. Now, what will happen is that you can have multiple mount targets. So anytime there is a network drive requirement, basically it is just sharing EFS. You can use EFS as a simple and highly available and scalable network file system so that the WordPress instances can have access to your shared and unstructured WordPress data, such as PHP files, config, themes, plugins, etc. Overall, if you look at this architecture, few things that you will notice is that all the invocation that are happening from internal apps that doesn't have public internet access is going through the NAT gateway, and you can see the arrow going outside rather than coming inside. So there cannot be an invocation from external through a NAT gateway. NAT gateway will only allow internal traffic to go outside. And the second thing to notice is the auto scaling. There is a Bastion host also depicted over here with the auto scaling. So Bastion host is just an EC2 instance. It is also called a jump box in certain parts of the world. So what it does is it will allow you to basically log into this EC2 instance. Because you are logging to this EC2 instance, it is also known as jump box. So you jump to this particular EC2 instance by using your credentials, and from here you can do any kind of maintenance activity where you can access any internal resource that allows access from Bastion host. Depends upon what kind of NACL or what kind of security groups have been set up in this particular architecture. For disaster recovery, obviously you will have to have a couple of regions available here.
This is the end of the show. Thank you for watching. If you liked the content, please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for future updates. This is your host Bhavesh Kumar signing off. Thank you.